So macro for selection is spot 1 here, for example. Enter blind, clear out whatever's in blind, select my start show group 1 grid. Could be linear grid, doesn't matter because you're just using it to grab the fixtures you want. Storing into a world 501 is my position effects 1. Merge, I confirm, clear all, X and blind. And then it's also assigning the parents, that changes that to be the active parents. Then you have a go there, so then it means the next section doesn't happen until you tap it again. Same thing, blind, select the group, store, remove from that world, clear all, X and blind, back to the deactivated appearance. The world is then assigned to my position phaser, so position phaser 1 here, right now doing nothing. In here under settings, playback output is 5001, position FX1, and that's all I've changed in there, except the speed master also set to position speed, but yeah. These settings all here are then actually being referenced, so anything like form select, which is the macros that were there before but just simplified, does all the same stuff. You go into here, click on the thing, you got one recipe line, new group that I've made. This is the presets, MA3, all the information coming from MA3. So this is something I'll talk about shortly, but yeah, when you change the form type, that's what's changing. I can change my selection between a grid selection or a linear selection. And then all my fade, delays, group numbering, wings, it all happens via this MA3 pool. So yeah, so if I go into like group select, it's just basically the same thing before. I can either select the grid one and store it at that sequence G1 position phaser, or I can select the group linear. Blocks, changing information in the MA3 pool item. Phase was a different one. I kind of had to figure it out myself based off some other ones, but global variable and applying it and doing some variable math in there. And then shuffle is also just setting X shuffle, Y shuffle. Don't know if I need the Y and Z shuffle. I just do it. Need to look into that more. But shuffle's there, and then assigning parents, all that fun stuff, and then obviously turning it off by pushing again. You do need to make sure you do this cook thing at the end of the shuffle, removing shuffle, because if you don't, it will not remove it. That was fun to figure out. Pretty sure it's a similar thing here. No, okay, something else. So if I select, say, spot 1, wash 1, and my T1s, and I go over here and I drag that fader up, the effect will start, go higher, do the full effect. This is just a temp fader for it. And then if I go back into here, you can see I can apply shuffle, so now it's a shuffled selection. I can change the phase, so it's now happening at once based on their current position, or 9 degrees out of phase, so it's a little bit of randomness, 180, 360. Doesn't really work well, but yeah, 3 blocks with linear. First block, second block, third block, different things, wings. Getting confused because it's in a linear selection, so that's all of it in a long row. If I change it to grid selection though, now everything is happening symmetrically. You can change how you select the stuff for linear if you wanted to do different things, but it depends what the outcome is. I haven't figured out my preferred one yet. So yeah, and then in here I can unselect. This won't change until so turn spot 2, wash 2 on now. This won't change unless I bring this fader down and then reactivate it, and now my ground row has the phaser affected, the phaser applied to it. So yeah, you can have a circle running on those ones, and then on I can tell it to be a fly out, which is this one for me. And wings, yeah, let's not do wings. Let's shuffle it though, and just make sure it's there. Go back, so I can have this going, and then halfway through song, or a bit of the song, or whatever you need, you can then bring in a fly out effect, and then bring out your circle effect, and just have that going. It's the same concept for my dimmer and color. You got your selections on the left, all the information, pretty much same as form selection, all that works the same. Yeah, just new world, different world. So for the groups, the way I do it is if I go to here and select that, scroll up. So on the selection grid, there's the grid selection of my thing. It was my top-down 3D, and then I've compressed it just because I don't need it to be that spread out. Doesn't make sense to me. And then linear linear, whole thing in order. I have done it also. Where is it? Might not have anymore. I did have at one point like linear line by line, both left, set to the left. Oh, hello, fun. Or set to the right. Set to the center or set to the left. I haven't decided which one I prefer. I'm currently playing around with it. Maybe for different reasons you want to have it differently. But yeah, the macro is pretty simple. In there, and make sure you apply it. The other thing I did figure out is you need a dummy fixture applied to the world. So if you don't have these worlds with something in them, like just a dummy empty fixture, then it won't work when you store and move. It won't. The phaser will ignore its output filter because it's not got any information about what to ignore and not ignore, so it thinks it's an all, and will just apply the phaser to everything. So you have to have a dummy fixture in there in order for it to function. You could just use the default one. I ended up patching a phaser dummy for no real reason, just I did. You probably could just use dummy one. I don't think it would actually matter in that scenario. And the other one is making sure that you have groups done. So if I go to preset, here, scroll down to 5001. Ignore those, that was me testing stuff. So yeah, this is where I'm doing that phaser group, grid phaser linear group. That is what is actually being set in the recipe line here. So group 5155002. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully that made sense.